Three Imaginary Boys is the debut studio album by English rock band The Cure, who were at the time a trio. It was released on May 8, 1979 by record label Fiction. It was later released in the United States and Australia with a different song tracklist as Boys Don't Cry. Background: the record company decided which songs were put on the album, as well as the cover artwork, without Robert Smith's consent. For all Cure albums since, Smith has ensured he is given complete creative control over the final product before it goes on sale. The Foxy Lady soundcheck, with vocals sung by Michael Dempsey, was not supposed to be on the album, and was removed for the American release. Smith has stated that songs like Object and World War and Our cover of Foxy Lady were Chris Parry's choice. Release: Three Imaginary Boys was released on May 8, 1979 by record label Fiction. The album was reissued on November 29, 2004 and featured a second disc of unreleased material, including songs recorded under the band name Easy Cure with Paul Thompson. It was originally supposed to be released in early 2004 along with the band's next three studio albums, but was delayed multiple times before being released by itself at the end of 2004. Since it featured a variety of old songs, it was the only deluxe edition by the band which did not include an alternate version of each song on the first disc. Some of the early booklets in the reissue had missing lyrics, which were made available on The Cure's website in PDF form. All copies since contain the lyrics. The first single, Killing an Arab, was excluded from the reissue, most likely due to its controversial nature. A one-disc reissue was released on September 5, 2005, containing only the original album. It was also released in the standard jewel case, and not a box. In some countries, the deluxe edition has become a collector's item as production was phased out, being replaced by the more economic single-disc version. Critical reception: despite Smith's displeasure with the record, Three Imaginary Boys was well received critically at the time of its release. Sounds Dave McCulloch praised it in a 5-star review and noted, "The Cure are going somewhere different on each track, the ideas are startling and disarming." McCulloch noted the variety of the material and qualified Grinding Halt as a pop song that reminds you of the Isley Brothers or the Buzzcocks. Red Star, writing and smash hits, described the album as a brilliant, compelling debut. However, NME's Paul Morley didn't share the same point of view and wrote, "Most of the time, it's a voice catching its breath, a cautiously primitive riff guitar, toy drumming and a sprightly bass." Chris Drew of AllMusic retrospectively christened it a very strong debut, and a semi-detached bit of late 70s English pop-punk. Nitzeb of Pitchfork called it as original a record as anything else to spin off from the tail end of punk. BBC said Smith was forging his own take on the post-punk zeitgeist, while critic Martin Charles Strong said it remains among The Cure's finest work. Their strangely accessible post-punk snippets lent an air of suppressed melancholy. Live performances: on the 2007 Euro 2008 four-play tour, the band performed, as an encore, Three Imaginary Boys, Fire in Cairo, Boys Don't Cry, Jumping Someone Else's Train, Grinding Halt, 10:15 Saturday Night, and Killing an Arab. In 2011, The Cure performed the album in its entirety at venues in Sydney, New York and Los Angeles. These shows, billed as The Cure, Reflections, were filmed for potential DVD release. Track listing: all songs written and composed by Cure, except as noted. Note: the album included an uncredited, final instrumental track and formerly called the Weedy Burton. This fact was not acknowledged until the deluxe edition reissue. Personnel: The Cure, Robert Smith a Euro guitar, lead vocals, harmonica, Michael Dempsey a Euro bass, backing and lead vocals, Lol Tolhurst a Euro drums. Additional personnel: Paul Thompson a Euro lead guitar, backing vocals, technical, David Dragon a Euro sleeve illustrations, Michael J. Dutton a Euro assistant, Martin Goddard a Euro sleeve photography, Mike Hedges a Euro engineering, Connie Jude a Euro sleeve illustrations, Chris Parry a Euro production, B. Smith a Euro sleeve photography, Bill Smith a Euro sleeve design. References. External links: Three Imaginary Boys at Discogs.